A black man got pulled over for not having his headlights on during the daytime. That's what they said, but I'm gonna repeat it one more time for y'all. A black man got pulled over for not having his headlights on during the daytime.
And the police chief trying to say, oh, the officers was in the right and all this old shit. Like, my biggest question is, I understand that the little brother was being a little bit combative. You know, that's what 22-year-old kids do, you know. But when you bust the man's window out and the brother had his hands up like this, was it really necessary to hit him in the face?
His crime, having the nerve to ask for a supervisor. Will had his window smashed in and was punched in the face multiple times while his hands were up. He suffered from a chipped tooth, had to get 9 stitches, and was slammed on the ground in a way that resulted in a concussion. He is suffering from short-term memory loss and mental anguish as a result of this horrific incident.
But what I don't understand is sucker punching the guy in the jaw.
First of all, let me stop you. Not a sucker punch. I'm not excusing that administratively. There are things that we definitely need to look at, but the context of this video should tell you everything you need to know.
It looks like it's a sucker punch because he's looking straight and you see this.
Right.
Okay, and then you see them pull him out and you see a couple of punches to the face. Again, I understand breaking the window, but they charged him with resisting arrest without violence. So I saw a lot of violence. I think the public saw a lot of violence against somebody that was not violent.
Well, first of all, Eric, don't try to talk the public into what they saw. They just saw the same video as you saw.
What are my beautiful black people? Welcome to Black People Politics Network. I'm Mr. Red. I know that by now you've heard about the law enforcement incident that happened down in Florida where a black man was stopped for not having headlights on during the daytime. Like, let that shit sink in. But regardless, he was stopped at a traffic stop and then he was assaulted by the police force because he wasn't complying.
Mind y'all, this incident happened in February. And I want to make a point of emphasis on cops will look you dead in your face. They'll hop on the stand and say that they fear for their life. They're fearful of you in the car, but don't have any problem breaking your window, busting you in your face, dragging you out the car, and then busting you in your face again. You escalated the situation to the point where you busted out his window and all the guy was asking for was a supervisor. That's what he was asking for, a supervisor. You guys said something was wrong with his headlights. You had multiple cops there. He probably felt threatened. He said, hey, I'm not moving until a supervisor shows up.
How many times have we heard that we weren't complying because we didn't listen? Now, I submit to you that I have seen so much footage of when white people don't comply. I have seen white people fight with the actual police officers. I have seen white people grab for the police officer's weapon and they still go home alive. Even the white people who take aim at schools, at churches, guess what? They end up going unharmed. But when it comes to black or brown people, there always seems to be an escalation of force on the side of the police officers.
What did I do? I got that on record. I got that on record too.
Video we've been talking about throughout the morning here on Good Morning Jacksonville, stemming from a traffic stop in Duval. We have just received a copy of the official police report back from February of this year. Now,
we still continue to refer to the social media video. Well, I just showed you body cam videos with much more information. Let's acknowledge that because that's important. The importance is I'm showing you the video, the body cam video, from the entire incident from start until they had to turn it off or we stop it for time.
Yes, if a cop tells you to show your hands, just do it. You know, if a cop tells you to turn your head to the right, do it. But it gives you no right to bust some man's window and not only do that, but you assaulted them. Your cops assaulted that man. They punched him in the face. But last time I checked, the man in that car didn't swing. He really wasn't even that riled up. He asked to see a supervisor and why he was getting pulled over. And that one cop that we all saw in the video, at least the video that I saw, punched the man in the face, yanked him out the car, and he's assaulting him and punching him as they're detaining him. It's 5 cops on one guy. One guy who's not big, who's not physically imposing, and he was not fighting back.
Over and over the abuse of power by the police, that immunity that they get. And now I believe with Trump in office, this boldness that they have, to continue to step on the literal necks of our democratic rights, personal liberties, our personal freedoms. We are seeing this erode more and more by the day.
I just want to say to that black police officer, you a coward. I blame you. We blame you. You could have stopped all this, but you didn't. You saw that man didn't do nothing wrong. You saw that man was getting mistreated by 3 people. You saw that man was getting abused, even when his hand was up. As a black man, you didn't even sense no threat from him.
Well, if a civilian did that to another civilian, they would be in handcuffs.
My point is,
do you think the black community is going to block the
don't use the black thing. Don't use, I'm a black man. Wait, hold on, Eric, hold on, stop for a second, because you're trying to be incendiary, and this is not the time for it.
You ever want to get up and punch somebody in the face? You sat in front of us and told this man, don't convince the public. He doesn't have to convince the public. We saw him get sucker punched in the car. Do you think that man was expecting to be sucker punched in the car? And then when you guys had his hands behind his back, you punched him again in the face?
In this case, something that I found really disturbing is the police chief, who happened to also be a black man, defend the actions of these police officers. This is the problem that we have not only in police forces, but in our government, is that we have people who are trying to protect the status quo, trying to protect those who step on people's civil rights and personal liberties. Don't let it fool you. Just because he has black skin on the outside doesn't mean that his heart doesn't bleed for those who want to see us bleed. Why did they have to use the excessive force? Why is this police captain justifying this type of behavior? Why is it that when it comes to this happening to black people, it seems like nothing happened? Now, let me say this. I respect law enforcement because I was also wore the uniform in the military, so I understand structure. But far too often, we are seeing the abuse of power, and nothing is ever being done about it. It hasn't been done about it ever. Qualified immunity should be gone. I'm not trying to say that every police officer that uses their gun in the line of duty should lose their life or go to jail or any of these things. But if you use your gun and it harms someone who is innocent because you thought you could get away with that shit, then yes, you should face consequences, just like we all face consequences. And I think that now that Trump has been in office, you have a bunch of people who feel fucking invincible. And that will be the next story that we talk about. Stay safe, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.